Are you excited for Dominion?
Do you like men?
Do you like men? Do you like to do that, cha-cha? Anyways, that about wraps up today's episode of Twin Talk. If you like this video...
Yes.
Oh, God.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Twin Talk, a video discussion show where twin brothers Chris and Kevin drink and draw while talking about comic books, movies, and all things pop culture. We are your hosts, Chris Hart,
Kevin Hart.
Today, we're taking a look back at Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom is a 2018 film starring Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and what the commercials led us to believe, Jeff Goldblum. He is in 30 seconds of this movie. Easiest paycheck he ever made. I understand why they did that, though, because this movie was definitely a placeholder to lead us to Dominion. Mm-hmm. And you can tell that because, first of all, it's not even directed by Colin Trevorrow.
He had a hand in writing it, though.
He did have a hand in writing it. And I will say the director did do a pretty decent job with what he's given, because to me, it is a weak script.
There's a few weak shots, too. Like that one shot of Chris Pratt when he's angry that they shot Blue. He's like... It is unforgivable. Yeah. Like, ugh.
But for the most part, I feel like this is a gorgeous movie, in my opinion.
It is, yeah. This one leans more into the horror aspect, which is a positive and a negative, because it's like, that's the cool part, but it's so...
Getting there
absurd.
Is rough.
Yeah. Like, there's honestly, to me, the way I break down this film is like, there's two very good sequences. Is the island when the volcano's happening, and when they're in the haunted quote
mansion.
The mansion, right? The
I
mansion.
appreciate what they're trying to do.
Everything else in between, garbage.
The characters weren't compelling as the original in Jurassic World. It gets even more cartoony.
Yeah.
It's like these people are buffoons.
You have social justice warriors. You have a strong female that's trying to be strong. You have a very dumbed down male guy who's like a geek and that's like, he's powerful because of his
soft. Yeah.
All of it's soft on the side character element. I do appreciate that they try with the story direction of Bryce Dallas Howard's character. In the first movie, she's coming down the elevator with a cell phone. She's a big businesswoman. And then the bookend of that is like her character changed. Now she's in an elevator with like coffee. She's like a kind of a nobody after like ruling this park.
I don't buy that at all. Even upon first seeing this in the theaters, I didn't buy that character arc at all. Because in the first movie, she's a complete corporate Mongol. She doesn't give a crap. It's all business. And in this movie, we're supposed to buy into the fact that she's like, they have rights, they're beings. Like, she was a completely different character in the first film.
Hypocrite, kind of.
Completely different character. So I never bought into that. It's a little over 2 hours. This feels like a 4-hour movie.
The action scenes is what saves it because they are very well directed. Between the lava with that, like, I think it's a Spinosaurus. Between that and with the lava, them trying to escape, of them trying to climb up to this thing, which it's just too convenient. Like, you had this, they're trying to reach out, they get locked in. But it's like, you had an escape pod this entire time, like this ladder. The way it worked out with like the comedic beats of the ladder going down and the dinosaur escaping the lava, trying to, get after this guy and going up. There was a couple of jump scares.
That was a good suspenseful scene.
Yeah.
But that one character who's like you said, like the soft male, and then you have the overly strong female. This is just tropes.
Eye roll.
The diversity tropes that I hate in today's writing. Because there's that one girl that's like, I'm tough, and you better believe I'm tough. Because if you don't think I'm tough, I'm going to show you I'm tough. And it's just like, you're trying so hard.
It's pretty
and
cringe.
It ruins the character. Because, like, I buy into a strong female character. But when you're trying to sell me on it, like Ellie Sattler from the original Jurassic Park, that's a strong female character.
This girl ain't it.
This girl is not it. I kind of like the character, but just the way she comes across is so in-your-face agenda, and it annoys me. And the soft male character, he's such a wimp. And he's like doing these obnoxious Shia LaBeouf screams the entire film.
That's what it felt like. It felt like a Transformers movie and in the human element.
It's so cartoony. It's so bad. There are elements of this film that it is a very well-crafted film as far as visuals go. There's that one shot of the T-Rex screaming when everything's erupting.
The volcano.
That's one of the best looking shots to me in all of the Jurassic
the colors.
franchise.
I like the saturated colors in this film. And then it goes into like this very almost like noir horror element at the end with like the very
shadows,
darks, the rain, almost like Transylvania castle, haunted mansion. That is like the bittersweet, what guilty pleasure I guess I want to say of
Yeah.
the film is like I like it, but I don't like it. I don't know how to feel about it.
There's a lot of good ideas and concepts that just aren't well executed. I appreciate what they're going for at that end. That
Maybe it's the
climax.
story of like you got these like underground Bezos and Zuckerbergs, they're billionaires that are
Auctioning
buying
off
dinosaurs.
20 millions.
It's very far fetched.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to like.
It's
grasp.
not. I would not say it's far fetched in the fact that like if billionaires had the chance to buy dinosaurs, they would for war because human beings suck. I don't buy the fact that the rich guy Lockwood, I believe was his name,
Yeah, the
who
Lockwood
was like
estate.
a partner with Hammond, and I like that. I like that he was a partner with Hammond, and we see that there's a twist at
There's a
the
plot
end.
twist. Yeah, there's a
that
mystery.
him and Hammond didn't agree on the whole genetics thing with Jurassic Park because Lockwood wanted to use it for cloning his daughter or his granddaughter that died, or his daughter that died, I believe, in a car
Yeah.
accident. I'm okay with that because like that is the whole premise of Jurassic Park is like
Genetics.
what shouldn't be done
Yeah.
is being done and it's unnatural. But when that little girl lets them go because she's a clone and she has rights and she's alive,
Yeah.
it just gets a little messy for me.
Yeah, I didn't mind her character. It's just it felt very off. It's like, wait, she's a clone. She's British. What? It's like, and then she lets the dinosaurs free, which she was just terrified of 20 seconds
They
ago.
just tried killing her 20
That
minutes
just
ago.
tried killing her. She's like, let them go into the world so every other little girl could die. Like that felt so off. But what'd you think about the dinosaur? The Indoraptor is the new nightmare.
Antagonist.
Yeah, the new nightmare. This thing's got claws.
The claws are pretty scary.
That like alligator teeth. This thing freaked me out.
I will say I do like the opening sequence where they're going back to Jurassic World. It's flooded and stuff. They're grabbing the
tooth.
bones, the tooth or whatever it
Yeah.
is from the Indominus Rex to make the Indoraptor, which is a little weird to me because that would mean that from the time they got that bone, there's a fully developed Indoraptor by the time of auction at the end of the film.
Yeah.
So that's a little weird. This thing took 2 days to become a full-grown Indoraptor. That's off to me. But I love that opening sequence where the Mosasaurus is loose and the gates open.
That's a pretty cool sequence.
It's pretty good. It is pretty good.
My favorite scene, it's a toss-up because I do like the island stuff just because I'm a sucker for Jurassic Park and like the whole island and amusement area. And it branches off this new territory. That's the thing is like I'm torn between do I like this new territory? Like is this really what they're going for? But I do like the whole volcano, gyrosphere, like escape from the island.
It's a good action sequence.
That's pretty
Yeah.
like
Thrill
ride.
ride. Yeah.
You know, like
Edge of your seat.
they're jumping off the cliff into the water.
They're about to drown.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. But I also do kind of like the whole like James Bond horror Transylvania Dracula dinosaur at the end. It's so weird. Like,
Yeah.
but I kind of buy into it at the same time. I don't know.
My favorite scene, I will say, as much as I disagree with like how it was executed, my favorite part about this movie is the end sequence where it is like that haunted house horror vibes of like the shadows. We get callbacks to the first Jurassic Park where the raptors can open doors.
Yeah.
We see that the Indoraptor is like opening the
That's a
window.
great sequence.
And
Yeah.
is crawling up to the bed of
With
the
its
little
hand
girl.
like going up to the
Yeah.
bed.
I remember seeing the trailer of that and being like, that's pretty freaky.
That's so well directed.
I
Yeah.
hope Dominion brings in a little bit more realism.
Yeah.
Just rein it back a little bit because this movie is the most cartoony of the entire
But
franchise.
I feel like we had to get there through this movie. Unfortunately, is like, oh, now the dinosaurs are on our
this movie feels like an
territory.
obligation.
Yeah, like it's like a rite of passage. Like we had to suffer through this to hopefully
Which
enjoy
sucks,
Dominion.
yeah.
Because I like the fact that we got to okay, now the dinosaurs are on our
They're loose,
terrain.
baby.
They're loose. They're free. That should make for very entertaining cinema.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
I expect this franchise to go in the Planet of the Apes direction where we get like the Last of Us type thing of human beings like they're extinct. It's a flip. John Hammond's original idea is what led us to this. It's like almost like that poetic injustice to me where it's like
Yeah.
mankind got so greedy that they're all dead. So
Yeah, that'd
that's
be
where I
wild.
hope this goes. That's where I hope it goes.
Although
because I
I-
don't believe that the Jurassic franchise is dead after this Dominion film.
I kind of hope that they stop. Worst death. Go ahead.
Worst death in this one? I'm gonna go with the guy that pulls the teeth from the dinosaurs.
Well deserved.
Well deserved, but because he's stupid, because he goes into the cage of this freaking thing.
The dumbest decisions in the
This
world.
thing gives the most cartoony, cheesy, like
Smirk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
the
winks.
Grinch smile.
the wink to the audience, like I'm about to eat this guy, and you see this, right?
This dinosaur breaks the fourth wall. Does a Ferris Bueller to us? That's where the movie gets like absurd to me. I'm like, ah.
I think I even saw in another YouTube video they compared the price of the dinosaurs. I believe it came out to
It's not a lot.
It's not a lot. Yeah, like,
It's not
in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
I think it was less than the budget of the actual film, which is like, that's a writing flaw 101 right there. Like, are you kidding me? Come on. That's embarrassing to me. Dinosaurs need a union. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the worst death is when the freaking villain Zola from Captain America,
Donald Trump's midget,
gets his toupee ripped off by the roar of an Indoraptor.
I'm going to say the worst death in this movie was masculinity. Final score, what are you giving this bad boy?
Somehow I like it more than Jurassic Park 3, so it's landing with a 7 out of 10. Just on rewatchability, I feel like there's more happening in this than that god-awful Kirby family.
True. As much as I like the concepts and ideas of this movie, the execution is so piss poor to me that when it comes down to rewatchability, I would rather rewatch this over JP3. But JP3 annoys me, but it doesn't piss me off. This movie pisses me off.
A lot of dumb decisions.
So for that reason, I'm going to give this movie a 5.5. And to me, this is the worst. This is definitely the worst.
Whoa.
This is definitely the worst of the franchise. I hated it when I left the theater. Upon rewatch, it wasn't much better. As like you said, is things going for it, but it's pretty bad, man.
To me, this is like the last Jedi of this trilogy.
Speaking
it's
of
like
Star
trying
Wars.
to go into new territory that a lot of people don't like, so it reins it back for the third one. So I don't know.
Yeah, and then you want the audience. You're gonna do the fan service for the audience.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see that. I know you had a few issues with the CGI in this movie.
Just in general, with the new direction, like obviously it's the world we live in. I'm a sucker for
Practical.
Jurassic Park because it's practical. It's so believable. It looks good, but it's just like when I first saw Jurassic Park, I was like, that's a real dinosaur. These I don't. It looks very good, but that's just like my personal gripe with the new age of like filmmaking.
Yeah.
Is that it relies too heavily on
the computer
CGI.
generation.
Yeah.
I actually didn't have much issues with Jurassic World or this movie as far as CGI. JP3, I felt that a lot with the CGI and the practicality. But I think we've come so far in CGI that Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, to me, was pretty seamless. Obviously, I would want practical stuff. But to me, I accepted this era. And I think it works pretty well.
It's just like dynamic art at this point. It's like,
Yeah.
what can we do with CGI?
I guess we'll
Which
see
is
how it
cool.
ages
Yeah.
in 10 years. 10,
Exactly.
15 years. We'll look back and see if it held up or not.
What did you guys think about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom? Let us know in the comments below. Are you excited for Dominion?
Do you like men? Do you like men?
Do you like to do that, cha-cha? Anyways, that about wraps up today's episode of Twin Talk. If you like this video...
Yes.
Oh, God. Anyways, that about wraps up today's episode of Twin Talk. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment below to join the discussion. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content. We'll see you next time. Peace!